everybody. This is Sam, and we are back with another episode of Pessimistic at Best, the podcast. And I have my amazing friend Claire with me. Hey, Claire.
What's up, everybody?
Claire and I, this is only my second Zoom recording. We're doing this over Zoom because Claire lives in Denver and we're a million miles apart, and it's sad.
Sucks.
But it's good because we get to do this and it's so fun. And it's been a long time coming having you on this podcast because you're like the queen of complaining. Like, you're my favorite person to complain with, I think, of all time.
Yeah, I'm like the most negative and most dramatic person you might ever meet. So
I love that about you. But no, it's in the good way, you know, like maybe we do it too much. I have gotten that feedback before, obviously, but
yeah.
But that's why I know I can always go to you when I have something to complain about, because you'll never
just, like,
say
help
that to
each
me.
other.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
oh my God, I'd be like, keep talking, keep it up.
Please keep going. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. It's funny because I was telling James a little bit before starting this, like, he always tells me not to do too much catching up ahead of time because basically we don't want to get rid of the good content. We want to, we need to be recording all the good things. So, but I mean, you know, we had to catch up a little because it's been a while since I've seen you.
I know, it's sad.
Since like,
but we could like talk for hours.
October.
So
yeah, we could, and we probably will after this recording.
I know. All night.
Well, and it's fun because, like, even with most of my in-person guests, I like to wine and dine them, and we get to do that virtually. I mean, you had to buy your own wine, so I guess it's not like my treat.
You can just me.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. That's so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know, like, it literally has been so long since I've seen you, and you, I will say the pandemic was like a lot of, and I'm not going to say maybe like an amazing thing, because of course the pandemic still sucks, but a lot of awesome things came out of it for you. Like, you had a huge move, you got an awesome job, you're living it up in Denver. Like, that's exciting.
I know. Yeah, it was like weird moving here in a pandemic because like I was like so excited to move and like get to explore the city and like do all that kind of fun stuff. And we got here and like thankfully we moved in the summer, so like things were still open. But we got here and we were like, oh, we like can't actually really do anything.
Can't do shit. Yeah, I don't actually get to see what it's like to live here.
Yeah, I guess we'll just go to the park and hang out with some friends.
Straight up. Well, I even feel that way. I don't know. We just moved to Willie Street, so still in Madison. It's a place I'm super familiar with, but I don't feel like I get the full experience, which it just sucks.
I know. Oh my God. There are so many good restaurants over there that you like can't even go to now.
It's the worst.
Okay. Yeah.
It's the worst. But yeah, I mean, you moved out there and you got your like first real big girl job, and it was your first time moving in with Dylan, and it was your first time moving out of Madison. That's so many things.
Literally my first time doing anything, and like it all happened at once. Like it's like, oh, here I go. Guess I'll just do it now.
That's actually fucking insane. Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like that's honestly how it happens with anyone. And like, especially of all of our friends, like we all grew up in Madison. Like a lot of us went to Madison, and then a lot of us have moved out. So like doing it all at one time is like scary, but like to see everyone else doing it, I was like, oh, I can do this. I can do it.
And I feel like even though like I'm sure it was a lot at once, but I feel like sometimes that's the way to go. Like you just got to dive in head first. Yeah,
for sure. And it helps because like we have friends out here like Julie and Josie, and then Dylan has friends out here, and I also have family out here. So like I still have people to like fall back on, and like whatever, if I need help, I'll be fine. So it definitely helped.
And so you like for 2-ish years before moving, you were living with your parents, which like I know then that kind of just adds another layer, because I feel like if I had been living with my parents, I think it would be hard. Like you'd just be sad. And I know
I was so sad. And like I'm like such a homebody to begin with. Like even when I studied abroad for like 6 weeks, I was like obviously not sad the whole time, but I was like, when do I get to go home?
Yeah. Totally.
But yeah, like leaving my parents, I was like, this is the first time that I won't see them in my entire life. Like especially going to school in Madison, like I could go home whenever I wanted.
Every weekend if you wanted. Yeah.
And I'm like, oof, maybe I'll go home for my dad's birthday, just like a random thing to like go see them. I'm like, no, you're an adult now, like you're fine.
Oh, but I get that. Well, and your parents are fucking awesome, so I understand. I get the draw.
Yeah. But thankfully, like it's like close enough like to be able to drive so that they could like come out here. Obviously it's a little different with the pandemic, but we'll make it work. It'll be fine.
Well, and they have to get like a a winter property out there or
I
something.
know, we need something. We need
Something.
it. So we can all benefit.
Okay, but let's talk about this too, because you're a nurse, and that's
Oh.
like maybe the craziest thing you could possibly be right now in the middle of a
tough.
pandemic. Like, absolutely insane.
Yeah. And like starting in a pandemic, not knowing any different, it was like so weird. So I started at a hospital, and when I interviewed, my manager was like, just so you know, like our hospital's like only COVID unit. And I was like kind of taken aback. I was like, oh my God, okay. A little different than I expected. So I did
Yeah,
the whole interview, and then she was like, how do you feel about us being the COVID unit? And like, obviously I had to be positive. So I was like,
sure.
oh, I mean, obviously that's like really scary, but like I'm really excited to like come in and be able to help with this like literally like historic thing. Like in 20 years, we're gonna be like, oh my God, 2020 was insane.
That's true. You're right there on the front lines.
I know, I know. It was so crazy. And so like when we started, you know, there's like all these rules and stuff that like are different now than they ever have been. Like I was a CNA, so I like knew a little bit, but it was just like so different. And like when you're a COVID nurse, like on our floor, we take less patients than if they weren't COVID. So like the most amount of patients I've ever had was 4. And now thankfully, like cases have been declining. So we are having less COVID people on our floor. So now we have like we can take up to 6 patients. And I had 6 patients last week for the first time ever. And I was like,
Oh my God.
what the fuck am I doing? Like, I
Yeah,
felt
that's
like
so crazy.
the entire night I was just like, I don't know, like running around. And like with COVID patients, like they're there mostly for COVID. So you know what to expect, you know what to look
True.
for.
Okay, that's true.
You know what meds you're giving them. Like it's scary, but it's like kind of straightforward.
Standard procedure. Yeah.
Yeah. And now we're like non-COVID, and I'm like, pancreatitis? What's that? I don't remember that one. So it's been like such a learning curve, but like I'm so grateful that, you know, I got to experience it. Like obviously it's, you know, scary, but I feel like I'm like making a difference, you know? So that feels
Well,
good.
totally. You absolutely are. And I'm so proud of you. Like, that's so cool and crazy and scary. All of the things. Like,
Yeah.
very much so.
It's a
All the
lot.
things. Plus, like, are you still working nights right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just another layer. Like,
I
that's an
know.
insane shift. Oh my gosh.
It is. And like, you know me, like I go to bed at like 9 p.m. and
Straight up.
I just like don't stay up late. And so like making that transition to being like staying up literally all night was like kind of hard, but you honestly you get used to it pretty fast. And I never sleep in, and now I'm sleeping until like noon. I wake up and like, Jesus Christ, like, what am I doing? My whole day is ruined now.
I mean, I feel like it's basically like you get jet lag every week, essentially.
Yeah, it really is. And like I can obviously force myself to like stay up and do stuff, but honestly, I'm okay, not thankful there's a pandemic, but like thankfully I don't have to do anything. I don't have to go see people.
There's
like
no
I
socialization.
No. I just like come home and I'm like, well, there's nothing else to do, so I guess I'll sleep for 18 hours.
Sometimes you just gotta do that right now anyways. I feel like
I know.
because of the pandemic I can sleep so much more, and not even just because I have no plans literally ever, but also just because like I don't know, I'm sort of bummed out all the time, so I'm like, yeah, might as well get back in bed.
I know. I need like a little bit of mental rest again. I guess we'll take another 2-hour nap.
Also, I just commend you so much. I mean, we've talked about this a million times, but like, because essentially you started nursing after not even being able to finish out nursing school the way you should have been, which is just like this happened and you still had a whole semester left, or even more. You didn't have your clinicals. I mean, virtual clinicals, that's not a thing. That's just not really, that doesn't give you the experience.
No, we like,
to be getting.
Yeah, we like did virtual clinicals, and like, I mean, obviously you could like sit there for like 3 hours and like really try, but like also you could click through and just be like, I don't know. It was just like it was just like not helpful. But yeah, so I did an accelerated program, which like a traditional program is 2 years. So ours is just 12 months, a year. So we started in August, you know, we're like going along. And then we do obviously clinicals throughout that, but they're group clinicals to start with. So you're with like 8 other students, and it definitely is a good experience, but you just don't get the full, like it's mostly to like start people, you know, to like get them used to being in a hospital and stuff. And then our second semester, we started doing individual clinicals. So I got to do basically one individual clinical that was like home health. So I like wasn't even a hospital setting. Like I didn't really pass meds or like I legit did not touch a patient for like 8 weeks because we just like go in their house, make sure they're safe, like all that stuff. It was like right before spring break in March when, you know, like other countries were starting to see like spikes in the virus. And like we maybe had like, you know, 10 cases in the country. I guess we probably had more, but like other schools were starting to shut down, and our entire class was like, okay, so like, are we going to get shut down, called off for spring break, whatever?
I remember when this was happening, and it was like just the beginning, and you didn't know, like no one knew.
Yeah.
NUW wasn't sure what was going to happen.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just like so crazy to be like sitting there watching like, oh, Michigan State shut down, like all these other schools being like, we're closed for the semester. Like they just like did it right away. And earlier that morning, like before everything shut down, our teachers were like, we don't know what's going to happen. Like we just, you know, kind of need to be on standby for this. And then we were like on a break in between two classes. We all got an email being like, school shutting down. We're going to extend spring break for like 1 or 2 weeks or whatever. So it was so weird. We were like, this is crazy. Like, we're not coming back to school for 2 weeks. Like,
yeah. Oh, when we thought it was going to be 2 weeks.
Right. Like, we were like 2 weeks, like, this will be awesome. Like, we can just hang out. Like, we didn't know what like quarantine was.
Yeah.
We like, no one knew how serious it was. So we're like kind of geeked. We were like, hell yeah. Like, you can come to my house this day.
Great.
Like, we'll be chilling.
Yes.
And then people still went on spring break because they were like, I don't know, it was like not that serious yet. And then I feel like people started getting back, and it was like, oh shit, this is like not a joke. This isn't vacation.
This is not messing around.
Yeah. And then it must have been like right after spring break, they were like, yep, we're shutting down for the semester. So like really we got like 8 months of nursing school.
Dude, that's so fucked up.
I know. And they always say that in nursing school, you learn like the basics and like the foundation, but you really do learn when you like get to your first job. But even then I was like, I don't even feel like I know the basics. Like I don't know what I'm going to do.
Well, and I just feel like, I mean, I really don't know what it is like to be anything even remotely close to a nurse. Like I work in marketing and I'm so far removed from that. But I feel like, I don't know, you are responsible for somebody's health, safety, and well-being. Like if you're not feeling prepared, that's so scary. Like, holy shit.
I know. And thankfully, like all my friends in school, like we were all going through the same thing. So it wasn't like I was alone being like, Jesus, now I have to find a job. Like, and like a lot of hospitals, because they kind of had to like shut down, like they weren't doing surgeries. So like a lot of their budget was cut. Mm-hmm. They were like not offering jobs to people. And so we're all like,
yeah, I remember when it was like a struggle for everyone to find, and there was like a shortage of jobs.
Which is crazy because everyone's like, oh my God, you're a nurse. You will never be without a job. And it was like, well, actually, right now it's kind of hard.
We're kind of screwed. Yeah. Which is just kind of ironic because
it was like a healthcare pandemic.
Things in health could not be worse. Yeah, there's a health crisis going on. But also you can't even get a job as a nurse. I mean, it took you a little while to find a job, but it didn't take you like that long.
I feel like I mostly like, I kind of put it off, and I was like, I don't know, like I knew I wanted to move. Yeah. So I was like kind of trying to research like places out here, but then also like had been a CNA at Merida and Madison. So I was like, you know, if I don't get a job or like I don't feel like it's safe to move right now, like I kind of had that as a fallback. Like, so I ended up applying to both. And like, luckily, like I'm so grateful I got offers at both. And that just like threw me. I wish I like honestly hadn't even applied at Merida, because like they did offer like a pretty significant more amount of money, and I was like, oh my God, like I have like $10 to my name, I can't move to Denver, like what am I doing? I don't know. I feel like I just like relied so much on my family and you guys. Like I was like, what the fuck do I do?
Yeah. And I feel like too, you and I are similar in this way. Like we're just not really good decision makers.
Oh my God, no.
I feel like if the decision could be made for me, that's so much better.
Literally.
So like if you had only gotten one of the jobs, you wouldn't have even had to think twice.
Right.
Like it would have just been decided for you.
Right. And ultimately, like I'm so glad that I chose to come out here, because you know, I could have taken more money, but then if I wanted to move, like, you know, you can't give up money in the future, whatever. And like money doesn't really matter, definitely. But also when you have $0, it kind of matters.
True. I feel like we're at the age where like that doesn't have to be the priority, right? Which is, I think, a part of what went into your decision too.
For
like,
sure.
you know, like we don't have kids, we don't have bills, we
Thank
don't
God.
have, I don't know, we don't have shit.
Right.
We just have to pay for
I
rent
got
and
my
food.
stupid old self.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and that was also like your first time, I guess, well, because at the beginning you didn't know for sure maybe we're going to be going out here alone. And then
Yeah.
Dylan wound up finding out that he was not going to have to go back to school in person.
Yeah.
Am I remembering that right?
Edgewood basically, I feel like, kind of just followed Madison's suit and was like, we're not going to have in-person classes. Yeah. So he got to move. And like, honestly, I'm so thankful because like I obviously could have done it on my own, but like in quarantine, I would be sitting here alone.
I know.
Yeah.
You
Like
just are
hanging
alone.
out with
Yeah,
no one. Like,
totally.
Cool.
I mean, that's the thing. I feel like I'm in the same boat. I'm so glad that I live with James right now because even though we see each other all the time now and we're probably getting on each other's nerves 24/7, I'll pick that any day over being by myself in this fucking apartment.
Okay, what to do next?
Yeah, twiddling my fucking thumbs. Exactly. But it is like a big thing though, like moving in with your significant other. It is kind of crazy. Like it took some work for us to get to.
Well, literally last year, like I don't just like for a few years, he's been like, when like we should move in together, and I was like, no, we shouldn't. Like I don't really want that. Like I want to hang out with my friends and live with my friends and like do silly things. Which not that we're not fun together, but like you know what I mean.
No, totally. It's just it's different.
Yeah, and like even coming out here, I was like, you sure you wanna come?
Yeah. Should we get separate apartments?
But obviously now that he's out here and we're out here together, like I'm so happy and it's so fun.
Yeah.
And we do silly things, so that's cool.
Absolutely. Is he still in school right now?
Yeah, they just started back up. He'll be done in May, so.
Okay. Yeah, hell yeah, that's exciting.
I know.
Well,
it's
so then
crazy.
does he has to do more school?
Yeah, he'll have to get a master's, but I think he's just going to try to like work for a second, like save up some money, try to pay off like current loans and then go back.
Yeah, I guess I didn't even think about that. Edgewood probably is expensive.
Yeah, but thankfully because I don't know, they're like very helpful with like grants and stuff and like financial aid. Yeah, so he basically got it like similar pricing to Madison, which is like super nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and he like really likes his classes and stuff, so it's good.
Can't complain.
I know. And it's online, like he like I don't know, it's so nice.
Yeah, that's so chill. I know there's like a part of me that wishes I could have done more of my school online, but I also can't tell if I would have been a good student.
No, just because of how well, at least I feel like when they did it for us, like nursing school, yes, we had to do more work, but it was like I feel like a little bit easier work. Like it was I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like I was mindlessly doing it instead of like in class paying attention. You know,
you're
like
just,
I was just
totally less engaged.
Right. Like I'm just like scrolling through PowerPoints, like which is stupid of me because this actually matters now. I'm a good nurse, I swear.
I feel like that's literally the craziest part about nursing. Like I can't even get my head through that. Like it just like your work matters so much. And it's not to say that mine doesn't, but like I can't like accidentally kill somebody.
It's just different. Like obviously everyone's work matters and like you don't want to upset someone, but like I could literally kill somebody. Like that is so scary.
That is so scary.
And there are like shifts where I leave and I'm like, oh my God, like that was the worst thing ever. Like, did I do everything? But then I'm like, okay, I left everyone alive. Like that's all that matters right now. Like, oh my God. And there's just like so much like to remember. And
totally
like so many little things that I'm like, oh, like that matters. I forgot about that. Like, but I think
I feel like you just have
time.
to remember so many like small details, like you know the correct amount of dosage for this, or like what body part is this. Like I don't know the bones. I don't know.
Honestly, I don't know either. But yeah, the dosing is like the scariest part, especially like whatever a pill is like one thing. It comes. I just hand it to them.
Yes.
But stuff that we have to like draw up and like I still like double, triple check, but I swear to God, like the first like month, 2 months that I was working, I would like pull it up in the med room, stare at it, and then I would be like, okay, no, that's right. And then I would log onto the computer and be like, 6, 6. Okay. And then I would go in the patient's room and do it like 3 more times and like out loud I'd be like, okay, here's 6 units. And like give it to them. But like I was like triple checking for like, oh my God, so hard. Because I was like, if I do something, I like lose my job, lose my license, I will never work again. I could go to
Yeah.
jail. I could go to
Yeah,
jail.
right. Yeah, I don't think there's very many things I could do that. Maybe like plagiarism or something, but like I think it would be pretty hard to send me to jail for a fuck up at work.
You do some fraud or something, but like, oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
It-
Well, and okay,
yeah.
like I know when you first started, this is, like, and I'm the same way whenever I start a new job, but for you, it's also just like the added thing of like you're a nurse and you're dealing with actual people all day long. But like, I don't know, you just come home and I feel like you would complain all the time and you just like, I
Yeah.
know you didn't love it at first. And I can't imagine going into that and being like right away, like, yes, this is awesome. Cause I think it would just be so overwhelming. Like,
Yeah. Well, and it was hard too because obviously, I love to complain. And like, I don't really complain around people until I feel comfortable around them so that I
same.
don't seem like this just like negative piece
Yeah.
walking around.
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
like would be like, have this just like hard day at work and I would be like, "Oof, don't really have anyone to say anything to."
Yeah.
So I would get home and
Yeah.
like just like bitch to Dylan, or I would like call you guys and be like, I hate my job. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know what to do.
I was on the
But
receiving end of some of those calls for sure.
yeah, for sure. But thankfully, there were like 6 of us that started at the same time who were also all new grads. So, we were all going through the same thing at the same time. So once we got to know each other a little better, it was like so easy to start turning to them being like, what's going on? What do I do right now?
Yeah,
My patient's
totally.
being absolutely insane. Like, can you come help me? So that's like so nice. And it was so fun to like get to meet them and like be able to hang out with them and complain with them because thankfully like they're we're all going through the same thing so they can like relate and be like, no, yeah,
Yeah.
my patient sucks
Right.
too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, okay. And I feel like it's so important for you guys to have a support system too, just being new grads in the most insane time ever. Like, at least you have other
Mhm.
people that like are also starting nursing in the middle of a pandemic. Like,
Yeah.
like you need that.
Yeah, for sure. They're all so nice and obviously they're like our age so we can like relate that way too, like socially and stuff. And then everyone else on our floor, like we have a pretty young floor. So everyone else is, just a few years out of nursing school, which is also super fun because they're all,
Yeah.
our age, like some are in their like
Relatable.
30s,
Yeah.
which is still like our age. So it's like so fun. And because they're also new, they're like so willing to help, and give advice, which like I couldn't do without them, honestly. I asked
Yeah.
probably like 100 questions a night. Like I'll turn around and be like,
You have to. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, should I do this? And they're like, yep. And I'm like, okay, thanks. I thought so. Just want to run it by.
Just had to make sure.
Yeah, like, because if I do something wrong,
Insane consequences.
yeah, I don't know. Terrible.
But at least, like, I don't know, they knew bringing you guys all in that, like, these were the circumstances. You guys were probably going to need
Yeah.
one, extra training and support just because you didn't finish out your school year the way you intended.
Right.
And two, it's a fucking pandemic. So you also might just need a little bit of hand holding sometimes.
Right,
Like,
right. And so thankfully, like I'm in what's called like a residency program. So it's like a 12-month program where we had like 12 weeks of training on the unit and then we have like further education. So we had like classes once a week. And actually we had this like, it was supposed to be this research project that we were going to do, which got canceled because of COVID, but that was supposed to take the whole year.
Oh, okay. Like a thesis or something almost.
Yeah, basically. But we still have like Zoom meetings where we like do classes, which I think is really helpful because it's stuff that we did learn in nursing school, but that was like 6 to 9 months ago. So we're like, not that you forget it, but it's just like a nice refresher.
And I feel like now you can apply it to like real things you're actually doing.
Totally. Yeah. We like had to take it to this like assessment, literally our first day of orientation. Like I hadn't even been on the unit yet. I was in
shit.
business casual, which I don't wear ever. They were like, okay, like sit down at this computer and take this like 70 question test and we'll see how you do. I would have failed it. Basically, I was like, no, I'm not a good test taker and just was like not
Same, I feel
expecting
that.
it. So we just retook it and we take it at the end of our 12 months too. I did
Oh.
like 25% better. I was like, now that I know what I'm seeing, and it's stuff that I did know, but I was just like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I haven't thought about this
totally.
in a minute.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I definitely feel supported, which is like a good
I
feeling.
feel like that's so important. I mean, you want that in any job,
Yeah.
but especially in this job, like for sure.
Yeah, I know. I like don't know. I just like couldn't do it
Yeah.
without the people that are helping. So I'm very grateful for them.
Okay, well, you have to tell me. It's been a while since I've asked because I haven't seen you in a bit. What's the crazy patient story
Whew.
of late that you've had?
Hmm. We definitely have a lot. We just have like, I don't know. It's so interesting because we have patients who are like so grateful and thankful for the care that we give. Like,
Hmm.
and they go out of their way to like tell our managers like how well we're doing. Like, I had a patient who, well, I guess like our managers do rounds. So like she wasn't like, hey, come in here. But like
Yeah.
they like go
Yeah.
into the patient room and they're like, was there anyone that like, stood out to you or like that made you feel comfortable? And this like lady said me by name and she was like, I
Oh,
know. She was like, she was so thorough. Like, I just like want to like say thank you to her,
that's so
which is like
great.
so nice because I was like, I feel like I didn't even do anything for her. Like, they're just some people who are so grateful to like have care.
Totally. That's so funny. That's not when you're shopping at Victoria's Secret or something, and then they're like, "Who helped you today?" Except way more meaningful.
Yeah, right. Like that girl. That girl fit
She
me.
gave me
Like it was nice.
exceptional service.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know. So it like feels so good. And then there are patients obviously who like just don't give a shit.
Yep.
They don't
Yeah.
care about you. They honestly don't really care like about their health, which is like hard because, obviously then there's like so much more going on than just them being
Yeah.
physically sick.
Well, do you have patients who have like had COVID and straight up told you to your face that they don't believe that they have?
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, no, it's insane. And they'll be like, "Yep, I don't have it." And I'm like, "Oh, but
Yeah,
you
actually,
actually
you for
do,
sure
and
do.
you're in
Yeah.
the hospital
Yeah.
because you do." Like this woman the other day tried to make a comment about like wearing a mask, and I was like, "Okay, so you're an anti-masker, and you're obviously probably anti-COVID.
Yeah.
Screw you!" Like I was
Yeah.
just so annoyed. And like, unfortunately, right now we do have a lot of people who are from out of state. They come out
Sure.
here to ski and they come up to elevation, which just kind of aggravates everything. And
Oh, I didn't even
then they're
think
like,
about
yeah, but I'm
that.
from
Yeah.
Texas or I'm from, like Virginia. I'm like, cool,
Yep.
welcome. Hello.
Super.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we just have these like really like crabby patients. And I get it. Like you're sick, you're in the hospital, you have every
I
right
hate
to
being
be
sick. Yeah. There's nothing
right.
worse.
I'm a legit baby. But then they're just like kind of mean
Yeah.
and they're grumpy. And so I get that in report, like, and it's not like we're, trash talking, but they're like, hey, just heads up, like they're not very happy. So I
Yeah. You
go
kind of got
in
to let people
thinking that
know. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but that I'm some sort of like saver. Everybody loves my personality. So I walk in, I'm like, hi, I'm Claire. I'm going to be your nurse tonight. Like, we're going to do this. We're going to have a good night. We're going to get good night's sleep, whatever. And so there was this like really crabby patient who, like, the first night, honestly, we had a really good night. He was like, gotta get some jello and some crackers, whatever. So I brought it all in and he was like being so nice. Like, we had such a good night. And he even asked my name. He's like, what's your name again? And I was like, Claire, it's right up there on the board. Like, you know. And then I came in the next night and he was so fucking mad. He was in such a bad mood. Like, no matter what I did, he was just like, whatever, just do it, get out of here. And I was like, okay. So then I like brought in his meds and I was like, is there anything else that I can do to like help you, feel more comfortable, whatever? He goes, well, a back massage would be
Oh
nice.
my God.
And I was like, I was like,
Anything
I mean,
else?
I'm not a I was like, I mean, I'm not a masseuse, but like I could give it a try. Meanwhile, I'm literally in our entire COVID gear.
Yeah.
So and I also wear long sleeves because I get cold. So I have a long sleeve shirt on, my pants, a gown over top, an N95 that covers my entire face, and then a face shield. Like I'm in there like screaming at the top of my lungs so he can hear me. He's like, how about a back massage? I was like, sure. So I like literally squeezed between his recliner and the back wall. I'm like pressed between him. He's this like old man. I'm like massaging his back for like probably like 5 minutes. I'm just like dripping sweat. I was like so sweaty.
No.
And I was like, is that good? And he's like, how about you do like a circular motion?
He wasn't gonna
So
let
now
you
I'm
up.
like, no, at all. And while I'm doing this, he goes, "Is it hard to breathe in those masks?"
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir, it is.
Yeah.
I can't fucking breathe, and I'm also dripping sweat off my face. Like, please let me go. So I'm like, honestly, yeah, like it can be kind of tough once you have to wear them for so long. He's like, oh yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm
So
gonna
can I be
go.
done? Yeah. Literally.
Just like dripping sweat. Like I was really trying to make this man happy, and he just like was like, whatever.
Yeah, I feel like in nursing,
Thanks,
dude, you
dude.
probably have to bring out, you have to get like a thick skin.
Well, and it's so hard because I am a complainer. I'm so negative, and then I walk into the room and I'm like,
Yeah.
hello,
Totally.
the most positive person you'll ever meet. No, and then I walk out of the room and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna die.
Yeah, that must be hard
It's
for
like
sure.
hard. Yeah, but I love it. Like I don't know. Even if he didn't feel appreciated by my back massage, I was like, I know I made his night better. Like I know he felt good. So I don't know. That's just like what matters to me, I
Totally.
guess.
I mean, and I think that's what's so cool about this. Like, I feel like I can't think of like a more rewarding job, like it's just like
It
an
really
immediate
is.
gratification. You just feel so good. You're doing such a good thing all day long. Like,
Yeah.
that's awesome. That feels so good. Even
Yeah.
if they're crabby.
Right. And I think even after like a really hard night or, like somebody passes, like we still like made them as comfortable as possible and like made that process as peaceful as it could be, like for them and their family. I mean, it's hard right now because if you're in the hospital and you're dying, you can have like one family member, which
Yeah,
is
that's
like
so hard.
literally the saddest thing I could ever imagine. If my family member was passing away and only one of us could see them, like how sad that is.
Totally.
So just to make it like an okay experience for them is like so meaningful to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just sad.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and that's the thing. It's just like I can't even imagine that. And even just as the nurse, you don't necessarily have a personal connection to these people, but
Right.
I don't know. You see them in such a vulnerable state, and then to watch them go, I can't even imagine.
Right.
That's so hard.
Right. And most people are so grateful and like and thankful, and especially family members right now because we have like it's like half COVID, half non-COVID on our floor. So if you don't have COVID, you can have a visitor come.
Oh, okay.
And this woman was leaving the other day, and I didn't know her, like she wasn't my patient's family member, but I was like, "Thank you, have a good night." And she was like, "Thank you, you too." And I was like, "Thanks." And then she like turned and like looked me dead in the eye, and she was so serious. She was like, "No, thank you for everything that you do." And I was like so serious.
Oh
And I
my
was like,
God.
"Oh my God. You're welcome." Like I didn't know what to say. I was like, "I don't know, it's just
For
our
real.
job." Like, thanks.
Yeah. I mean, but that's the thing. Like, I don't know. It is so important, and you touch lives. It's a beautiful thing. It really is.
And then I go home and I'm like such a bitch about it, and I like have a whole bottle of wine. I'm like, fuck this.
You deserve to be though. After all that, and after like 12-hour shifts, that's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
You're still doing those, right? That's how long you work for at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to have like shoe inserts? What shoes do you wear?
Honestly, before I was wearing some bogus ass Adidas, just like some like little ones I would wear out to the mall. But now I like got new running shoes, so I wear my old ones, so they're like better.
Yeah,
but
that helps.
I don't know,
because you're like standing the whole time.
It's so messed up. My legs get so swollen. I wear like my wool socks, and I'll take them off, and there's like a line around my leg. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
It's squeezing a little bit. Yeah.
I know. I'm like, God, gotta lose some weight or something. I don't know.
But yeah, that's crazy. I can't imagine that. I like, it's so bad. I sit on my ass all day now. I just sit. I'm sitting. I don't even have to like get up and walk downstairs to go get in my car, like, and sit in my car, and then again at the office. Like, I just get up and sit, and I'm sitting again until I go to sleep.
I mean, on the days that I don't work, that's all I do. And I don't even sit, I lay. Yeah. I'm horizontal.
Yeah.
I'm not getting up or anything.
Well, sometimes like after I get done with work, I feel like I literally have to go like lay on the bed like that just to give my ass a break. Like, I need to just be like not on my butt cheeks for
the pressure.
Because also for like I've mostly been working at home, so I'm sitting at this table all day, and I'm just like, this is just like our dining room table, because James works from home, but he's always been working from home, like pre-pandemic, obviously. Yeah. So he has like a real work from home setup, and our house isn't really equipped to have both of those things. So I just sit here and I'm on a stool. Like I don't even have a backrest.
Oh my
It's
God.
not, yeah.
You need a chair.
I need a chair.
Poor
And I'm like
back.
crunched over. My posture is getting worse. I
Oh
don't
my
know.
God,
I
I
think my
look like a
life is just
hunchback.
going downhill.
You have always had such nice posture, though. I'm jealous.
I know. I think it's deteriorating quickly as well.
Well, you don't want to get up to my speed because I look like I'm 105. Like I got some problems.
But I don't know. It's cool that you're out in Denver. I'm jealous. I think it's like the perfect time of year to be out there too, because you could just ski.
Oh
It's less this year, but the amount of like outdoor activities they still have in winter, that's like perfect for a pandemic.
That's what I was gonna say. Like even coming out here and having most things be shut down, we could still like drive up to the mountains and like have a day outside, which is like so nice. And honestly, it's so mild out here. Like it was literally 65 degrees last week.
No
like
way.
In January. Yeah. We were outside and we were like, this would never happen in Wisconsin. Like we have to sit outside all day.
Yeah, that's actually crazy. I mean, here it's freezing. James and I have been going for like these really short walks and we don't make it very far because we're just like completely covered. Like the only thing showing is our eyeballs. We're just like crying.
It's miserable.
Yeah, it's so bad.
It snowed all day today. And so when it snows, like it dumps. Like we probably have like 5 inches right now.
We
but
had a
honestly,
snowstorm
God, 2
here
days.
Too.
I know. My dad sent me a picture of the backyard. I was like, damn.
I like literally haven't even been
10
outside
inches.
though. So I can't even see it. But,
you don't really.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go outside either.
Yeah, no need.
Nope.
Might as well just stay my ass in here. It's actually funny. I feel like you would relate to this because this is something that you would do too. But we left the house the other day just to run a couple of errands, like really basic things. I think we had to pick up like a book order. I ordered a bunch of things from A Room of One's Own and then Good Style Shop. And then we also, like I'm doing all my online pickups. And then I think we decided to stop in a community pharmacy. And then we were driving back home. I mean, we were gone tops for probably like a half an hour, not even, because everything I had already ordered. Like I just went in, picked it up, left.
Yeah.
And we were pulling back into our garage and I was just like, I don't want to be in here. Like,
I was going to say, did you start crying?
Like, it just was immediate. And, like, I just couldn't even, like, I just really didn't. I was like, we're going back home. I'm always at home. I'm so tired of being at home.
It's awful. The other night, I think it was last night. I don't know. We were like, it was Sunday because we had watched the Packer game. And we just
Badgers,
been like laying on whatever. We had been laying on the couch all day and we like hadn't been eating, and obviously we like needed to get McDonald's. And so when I get something in my head, especially when I'm feeling like sad girl, like I was like, yes, like a McFlurry and a Diet Coke, I'm gonna be revamped. I'm gonna feel so good. I'm gonna be back to myself. And the McDonald's warehouse is like honestly always on some shit. Like sometimes the line is like 45 minutes for no reason.
Oh my God. Is it like the only McDonald's in the area?
Like it seems like it, which everywhere else there's a McDonald's on every corner. I don't understand. And so I was like, sometimes, yeah, the line is long. Then their obviously ice cream machine is never working. The soda machine's not working.
Naturally.
We pull up and it says cash only. Who the fuck carries cash? First of all, ever. Second of all, in a pandemic.
Yeah, that's like the big no-no right now.
Right. Obviously, I started crying immediately. And someone was like, well, do you like Wendy's? I was like, Wendy's? No, I don't want fucking
Nobody likes Wendy's.
No. And then he's like, what about Chick-fil-A? I was like, Chick-fil-A is too far. Like, I was just like sobbing in the car. And he's like, okay, well, like, let's go to Wendy's. You can get a Frosty. I was like, no, I'm not getting anything.
Yeah.
But I feel that, like, you just, like, one thing happens and it is full-on meltdown.
Yes.
I can't.
Straight up. I feel like I'm so like that these days. Like, it's a flip of a switch.
It's scary. Scary.
It's scary.
Or
and like, I don't know. Like, I'm always like that kind of, like, I'm definitely an emotional person. But, like, right now it is to an extreme.
No, it's scary. And, like, usually I, like, don't really like to say anything about it. I don't know, like, especially to my parents or something, but I'll text them and be like, can you guys FaceTime? I'm really sad. Like, you gotta get over it, man. You're fine.
I know, it's really funny. I obviously don't get to see my parents as much anymore either with all this, especially with winter, just because I'm not like in the summer I could see them outside, but yeah, it's different now. And my mom just like, I don't know, she's calling me all the time these days, and she's like, just wanted to check in. Like, I think she knows I'm losing my mind.
You're sad. Thanks, Mom. Appreciate it.
But it's sweet. And I miss them. It sucks. I mean, it just sucks because like I can't even see the people that are here in Madison because you just can't do anything with anybody.
I know. And obviously we used to run all the time, but it's so cold you can't even run.
Yeah, straight up, I haven't run in like at least a month.
I miss our little running squad.
Same. I know. And I'm jealous every time you guys go out because, I mean, I guess I forget that it's just like not remotely as cold over there. That's so nice.
I know. It's nice. But honestly, like obviously quarantine sucked. I'm not going to say it was like fun or anything. But when we got to like actually start seeing each other outside and we would go to your courtyard or my parents' backyard and invite like
best,
it was so fun. It was so fun. It was like finally after like 5 months we could be like human. I know. Oh,
I know. I miss it.
Winter again.
And I feel like that's the thing. Like I knew it was going to be a long winter, but oof.
But you don't ever long. Like realize how long it is. Like truly.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that like basically 1 month. Okay, like a month and a half from now is like a year ago we started this.
I know.
That's so fucked up.
I feel like that's going to be a really bad month. I feel like all month long we're just going to be talking about how it's been a year and I remember what I was doing this time last year and blah, blah, blah.
Nothing.
I don't want to hear it.
Last year. Fuck that.
Straight up.
Oh, my God. But hopefully the vaccines will continue and like, you know,
dude, you're immune. That's awesome. I can't wait to get mine. It'll be a while because I'm not a nurse, but I'm ready.
But I'm hopeful that it'll be like the general public will be like this summer.
Yeah.
That's a big hope.
Tap me up. I'm ready for it. Let's go.
Give it to me. Give it to me. I still have the Band-Aid on for my second one.
Hilarious. How many days has it been?
Okay, I have this really weird thing about shots where I like think that when they give me the shot that they leave like a hole open. So I like wear the Band-Aid until it falls off. I've showered probably like 3 times. I got it on Saturday night. And I still have it on my own. I'm like scared. I'm like, I'll just leave it on.
I get it. Yeah, might as well. Yeah. It'll fall off in good time, you know? Yeah. Then you know.
Yeah, then I'm good. I'm immune.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad we got to do this. This is so fun. And especially just because, I don't know, eventually we're going to have to do one of these in person, but I just you are the queen of complaining. You have to be on this podcast. If you were at home, you would be like my co-host or something.
100%. I'd be in there like shining some lights or something. I don't know.
But this is good. And I'm so glad we got to do this. And definitely we have to do it again soon. But yeah, I mean, I'm just happy to see you. It's so great.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for having me on. I love your podcast. It's what I look forward to every week. I'm like, oh, another thing of complaining. I can't wait.
The only thing to look forward to. Yeah. Well, and that's why we definitely have to do it again. And we just should probably, I mean, me and you are the same. Like I suck at FaceTiming. I'm just bad at it. But it's just great to talk to you. It's so sweet.
And then I hang up and I'm like, oh my God, I'm in such a good mood. Like I need to do that 3 times a week to keep my happiness there.
Pencil it in.
Yeah, seriously.
But this was good, and I'm glad. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It's interesting to get like a actual, I don't know, it's interesting to hear about the front lines of this whole shindig that we're living through right now. It's very crazy.
It's really crazy. It really is.
Alrighty, well, you guys, we will talk with you again next week. Bye.
Bye, everyone.